Good morning, Steve. Good morning, T-Rex. All right, let's take it easy. It's not in a hurry Sunday, okay? Let's just go really slow, all right? Can we go slowly out the door at 9 a.m. on Palm Sunday, April 13th, 2025. Wind coming in off the ocean water temperature 41, air temperature 40. The air coming in off the ocean is colder than the ocean. That's because this old cold pool aloft, this is day 3 of a 3-day nor'easter. There's the surface map with 1,004 millibar low just east of our benchmark being 40 degrees north, 70 degrees west, and a 1022 high over southeastern Canada. Wind is air moving from that high to this low pressure system, and it winds around, and it's from the north today instead of northeast. So the drying process is begun, but it's very slow. Look at the satellite image. It's a huge, not that powerful storm. The reason for all the wind is that old, cold, high pressure system. And let's go check the rain gauge. It didn't rain that much yesterday, but it was an obnoxious wind all day long. Look at that. We got less than a tenth, 0.06. And this morning, it's still raining in parts of, well, it looks like Cape Cod into Maine. And then it's snowing in north central Maine. The Reggae Fest at Sugarloaf. It's a snowy one. Looks festive. Looks like fun. Why can't we ever have like sunny and 60 degrees on one of these kind of days? The pond skimming going on and all that. Yesterday at Killington, it was snowing, and ski areas are wrapping up the season. And Bruce Schmidt, GM at Okemo, we went to college together, and ski area management was his choice. And he says, congratulations, Josh and Sam, for a great season of snow reporting, as we are shutting down the ski slopes that are covered in snow because nobody wants to go. Well, not enough people want to go to keep their cash registers moving. It is snowing this morning a little bit in Maine. I looked at the Sugarloaf cam. There's the top of Timberline chair. Looks full mid-on winter, doesn't it? And you check the temperature profile at Mount Washington. It's not very different from the top to bottom. What is it, 26 to 32? And the wind is from the northeast, but it's not that strong. So it's actually more windy here in southeastern New England. Regional temperature map at 8 a.m. I think I got this. And once again, Worcester, Massachusetts, on the hill there, is one of the coldest stations in New England at 34 degrees. And the wind is still gusting 20 to 30, gusting to 35 miles an hour on Nantucket. Stellwagen buoy says 9 foot, 8 second swell. And there's a look at the webcam at Cinnamon Rainbows, Hampton Beach. It's kind of a chaotic sea, but tomorrow it may clean up a little bit when the wind goes lighter. What else did I want to talk about? Yesterday, we made history. Here's the daily almanac from Worcester, Massachusetts, the airport, and the high temperature of 33 was a record low high temperature. 6.4 inches of snow, a record amount of snow, daily record that is. And the record high temperature yesterday was from 1977. Now, this really rung a bell for me. We've been talking about 1977. This will be the third time I talked about it. I looked at the data in Boston to see if it was a record low high temperature, and it was not. It was only 39 for a high temperature in Boston yesterday. But the record low high is ancient, 32 degrees in 1874. But look at the record high temperature in Boston from yesterday, 85 degrees on April 12th, 1977. On April 10th, 1977, we had record low temperatures. And so just 3 or 4 days ago, that was Thursday, I was looking around at the temperatures and I said, oh, wow, Concord, New Hampshire's 19, but it was 17 in 1977. So in 1977, we went from record low high temperatures on the 10th to record high temperatures on the 12th, 2-day swing. That is an extreme pattern. Now, we're not in that extreme pattern, but one of the reasons I bring that up, 85 degrees, and then it snowed a couple of weeks later. And the latest snow on record in southern New England is May 9th, 1977. And Keith, you in Nashua, obviously trained in meteorology. So many of you are. And Keith gives me these numbers. He remembers all these things where he was in college in 1977. Yeah, I was in high school in 1977 on Cape Cod. I remember it sleeted a little bit. All right, so this is, I don't know where this bucket came from. It kind of blew out of somewhere. This is where we get all tangled up, guys. I'm going to try to do the weather. So you're on your own right now. I'm going to do the weather. I'm going to go with the NAM high res. We talk about this all the time. It's did a pretty good job with the snow. I mean, talked about it 4 days ago. We knew there was going to be a bullseye of more than 6 inches. We just didn't know where. Ended up being right there in Princeton at your house, Linda. And this is the back edge of the snow and rain pulling out in Maine. Still snowing through midday, north of Sugarloaf, I think. So most of us have a dry day, a drying day. And the clouds may part a little bit. The fog should lift at these ski areas, but you're already skiing, so you know whether it happened or not. And powder at the tops of the mountains. And there comes the warm air advection tomorrow. There's a little bit of rain trying to come at us, but then it falls apart. The sun comes out in southern New England. The wind is not coming in off the ocean, so all of a sudden we're back into the 50s, maybe touching 60 briefly. And then tomorrow night, here comes a cold front, and that cold front is not cold enough for snow. It's rain in southern New England again tomorrow night and into early Tuesday, and then this goes out to Tuesday at 2 p.m. Now we have a cold front, so it's a combination. Warm fronts tomorrow, cold front tomorrow night and Tuesday, and this says at 2 p.m. that it is not snowing at the higher elevations of New England, although I think it will be, but you can see those blue lines all packed in there, 540, 534, 528, and so on. So that's new cold air, and it's going to begin a new days in a row of snow in New England. Today is probably about a day today with the snow in Maine. I think this would probably make about 23 of the last 24 days it has snowed in New England. And it's the first day in 8 that it has not snowed in southern New England, or the first day in 7. It started snowing in southern New England last Sunday night in Connecticut, and it snowed a little bit, at least a little bit each day, and in some places a lot of bit. So we made a little bit of history this week, and can we do it again next week? Well, I don't think we're going to make history, but we're going to keep ski season going. It's going to start snowing again in the mountains, and people are like, get rid of ski season. I got to get my boat in the water. What's going on around here? I got things to do. Here's the GFS, sticking with the GFS for now, and there's our coastal system finally pulling out. So 1 day of warm air advection, and we start off wet in most of New England on Tuesday morning, and then in southern New England, we're going to dry it out. Low pressure is going to get to our east, north of Maine, and it's going to slow down. It's deepening, too, down into the 980s. And here come the isobars on Tuesday into Tuesday night. Those black lines tightening up. It's going to get windy and cold. Not freezing in Boston, but the wind chill factor may be 32, but we're probably going to be in the 30s each morning. And the blue in Quebec and New York and Vermont, that's upslope snow. It's going to continue Wednesday, and it looked like it might end on Thursday, but not anymore. It looks like there's a low wobbling back toward the west there, just in the upper right of the map, and that keeps the upslope snowing going into Thursday, into Friday. So at places like Mount Mansfield and Jay Peak, another close to a foot of snow by Friday. And then here comes this front. We've been watching this. 2 days ago, it said snow for central New England. Yesterday, it said just northern New England. And now it's saying rain for all of New England. Next Saturday, another Saturday rain. Are you kidding me? And this is subject to change, by the way, because it's kind of inconsistent, but it's lifted to the north, and that will be wet Saturday. And then the low is gone on Saturday night, and all of a sudden Sunday, we have cold air advection, but it's trying to be dry, although upslope snow coming back again next Sunday. That's Easter Sunday, and cold air advection into Monday. It looks like a lot of the nation is trying to warm up, but here in the Northeast, we have another flow from the north going into Tuesday and even into Wednesday. Now we're at April 22nd, and that's 240 hours at 8 p.m. on Wednesday the 22nd. There is you can't really make it out, but there is high pressure to our north, and our flow is from the north, and there's more weather coming across the middle of the nation. It looks like I don't know, a 997 low somewhere down around Missouri with a lot of rain there. And if this GFS is right, most of eastern Canada, except for far eastern Canada, has warmed up at this point. You see the 546 and the 552 red lines up there in eastern Canada. By the way, the euro is a lot colder than that in eastern Canada in 10 days. So the bottom line here is no extended warm spring-like weather around New England for some time. But the grass is turning green. Look at Steve Turnblum's cam this morning, where yesterday he had about 4 inches of snow. It didn't all melt yet, but you can see the grass turning green. What is it, Steve? I think the snow gives off nitrogen or something like that and helps fertilize the lawns. So we can only hope, right? I don't think I'm getting any more snow in Weymouth, but I'm going skiing again this week. Pond skimming at Stowe today. Let me know how much of a party that is, Alex. And Brett, I hope I got your name right. Brett's sticking around for pond skimming, some music at Stowe. Outdoor fun in the springtime. Well, send me some video of that. All right, Alex, thanks. And hope you don't get soaked. And sorry to miss that today. That would have been fun to watch and to have music outdoors. And of course, it's just a cold, but not snowing or raining day today. I think the fog is lifting north. All right, yesterday's and more. Not a lot. I was just trying to stay away from the cold and the wind and the waves. Watch this gull pointing into the wind. Stationary gull. It's beautiful how they just master the aerodynamics. All right, it's another cold one, but we are getting out of the 30s today and tomorrow into the 50s. And here's our and more from yesterday, Saturday. Had to go to the airport. Mommy came home, so T-Rex is all excited that Mommy's home. And the flowers are blooming. And we went for a walk. All right, talk to you 24 hours. Oh, one more thing I wanted to include. The video from Eric yesterday in Goffstown, New Hampshire, of the worm in the snow. Yeah, what in the actual F going on there, poor worm. And Eric also loving that it was snowing outside and he had the Masters on inside. Love your contributions, you got a great attitude. There's the TK Worm Farm right there. Send the worm my way. And that Montauk, I replanted into a bucket. Oh, and now we've got a cardinal singing to us. Where's the cardinal? Oh, I can't see it. And more from yesterday. How's everybody doing? Mitt patiently waiting for some more food. Wow. They're both just sleeping together 1 minute and then they're both eating together the next minute. Enough food in there for you both? Can you fit both heads in there? They're not related, but they do get along like brothers, like really well. Day 2 of a nor'easter, and it's a Saturday. Supposed to be working in the garden. Instead, we got the heat on indoors. 39 degrees, I think that says. Yeah, 39 degrees at about 2 p.m. Cat nap update. Mitt was just snoring so loud I couldn't even hear the wind. Steve, we had to put down another color so we could identify. The sky's trying to brighten, but we get breakers down behind the rainy window. Try this way. No, can't see through the wet window. Oh man, 4 o'clock. 4 points as you call it, huh, Don? Oh, all right, let's go the other way, the non-ocean way. Daffodils here didn't get snowed on much. T-Rex into the wind. Just some light drizzle right now. For a weak low, it's a strong wind. We're sustained around 25, probably gusting 35 here. I don't hear the birds singing now. There's some raindrops. 40 degrees at 5 o'clock. Chuck Nolan on the radio 6 days a week. Boston's looking really pretty, isn't it? Red Sox are in Chicago. Darn. Well, Chicago's probably better chance of winning anyway. Yeah. Always at the airport. For 41 degrees though, there is some pretty color besides the gray and the blossoming trees. And we've got look at that, almost ready with the magnolia. Quite. How about a weeping cherry? Anyone know where there's a weeping cherry? There's some weeping cherry, and literally weeping, really. So that part's protected from the wind that's coming around the corner here from the northeast. This is what it looks like out there on the water at 10 past 7. The sun doesn't even go down now for another 15 minutes. Brisk. Roto, get out of the wind. Show. Oh my goodness, the petals are already on the ground. It's not even done blooming. Torture for the plants and the people, I think, too. All right, time lapse. Time lapse from Weymouth, watching the full moon tide come in. And then the full moon tide go out. T-Rex is inside barking because he hears someone talking outside. So it is springtime. Thanks for watching. Not in a hurry Sunday. Not much in more on this Saturday. It's pretty flowers. Get the sun on these things before you know it. Sooner or later. Talk to you tomorrow.